Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. It is Wednesday, December 31st. It's New Year's Eve, the last pre-market live show of 2025. It'll be 2026 in the morning tomorrow. So let's see what the market's going to end like for 2025 here. Let's see what it looks like right now. Let's hop over to the heat map, and it's a little bit flat, but red as well. Apple, Google, Meta, a little bit down. Oracle and Palantir still down as well. And let's see, U.S. stock futures edge lower in quiet New Year's Eve trade as Wall Street wraps up a strong year despite recent losses. So that's what it looks like right there. And let's see what the news says. 2025 was a wild year for the markets. That's for sure. We talked about the 10 influential events last night, and it was all over the place. And gold and Goldilocks and the dollar bears. And let's see, S&P futures slip slightly as benchmark is close to close out the 2025 with 17% gain. That's crazy. And silver prices slide this morning. Remember, I was telling you I thought it would. And the big shorts, Michael Berry takes on a big tech bulls, but holds fire on this cult favorite. So there you go. Good morning, Sam. How are you? Good or bad, your account is staying green today. There you go, Sam. I love it right there. Good attitude. Good way to look at it. And let's get through and see what's going on. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Let's see what our Jolie's jumpers are doing for our New Year's Eve right here, the last day of 2025. How crazy is that, guys? Remember, I always say back in October and September, we'd be at New Year's like this, like a snap of a finger. We'd be having Thanksgiving, Christmas, and now New Year's. And look, here it is, guys. The time flies by. That's why you always have to be prepared about 3 months ahead of time. We always are, and that's a good thing, a beautiful thing on this show. And in the Discord, we're always ready for what is happening. So AEHL, the antelope, was jumping up yesterday. Not sure it was moving this morning. Again, it could be a slower day today, being New Year's Eve. So let's see what's going on. That's the antelope just hanging out. AIM right here. AIM Immunotech, and that was ripping up there yesterday, but pulling back this morning. ANGH, that is continuing to run up there this morning. There you go with that. And CETX, that is not looking too bad after it ran up yesterday. That could continue its way up. Give me 1 second. I forgot to turn the heater off down here. It's like super hot. Hold on. Give me a second. All right, there we go. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. I was like, why is it getting so hot down here? The heat was still on down here. I have one of them little heaters down here, and that thing heats up this basement so fast. It's crazy. So, canopy growth right here, not looking too bad. Let's see what MSOS is doing. That doesn't look, it was looking pretty good yesterday. It doesn't look great this morning until Tilray is kind of hanging out. I think the cannabis stocks will get set back up coming into the new year. Davis Commodities has been running up. It is pulling back now. And then KLXE right here, that KLX Energy, that bad boy spiked up. Look at this thing. Is that today? Yeah, it is today right there. So I would say that's up because yesterday it closed at 157 and this morning it opened at 175. So you got a nice little gap up on KLXE right there. And ISPC, the iSpecimen, we looked at it yesterday, was running around today. It's just kind of hanging out there this morning. And NCL is at Northern or something like that. And that doesn't look bad. Keep an eye on that. NCL, that could continue to run up. Oris was looking pretty good and hitting the 20, and that could run around. That had the recent reverse split right there. SGLY. Let's see, Singularity Future, that was spiking up there this morning pretty well. I'm not sure if it's going to run. And that Society Pass has been running up the last few days, but I do think that one's fizzling out there. UAVS, we were looking at it on the show. I added it to the list, and like I said, I think that could be a great opportunity way down here. So keep an eye on that one going into the new year. NULY Urgently was ripping yesterday, that's for sure. And what about that VMDA? Is that what that says? And it's supposed to be NVIDIA, I think. And it just got a little mixed up there. NVIDIA not looking bad. So Let's take a look and see what else is going on here. That's what our Jolie's jumpers are doing this morning. So thank you, Asian Jolie. Another year of the Asian Jolie, the jumpers, and Jolie's jumpers and Jolie's jams each night. So I can't thank you enough, Asian Jolie, for all your contribution. We appreciate it. Everybody does. So it makes the show awesome. I'm going to tell you that. In the morning, it helps us just cruise right along there. You have your ANGH right there popping up there. AFJK still ripping up there. It's at 120 right now. Remember, we were looking at it last night. How crazy is that thing? It's a shell company, and it is ripping. There's your Oris. We were looking at that last night. VNDA. Oh, that's what that was. VNDA. Why wasn't that popping up? It didn't even come up there. VNDA. Maybe I typed it in wrong. I must have, because there it is. And that is popping up there. So Asian Jolie was right. That is not NVIDIA. It's just scrambled up NVIDIA. And it's VNDA right there. Vanda Pharmaceuticals. FDA today approved Vanda's Narusas. I don't even know. Some kind of medicine for prevention of vomiting induced by motion, marking the first new motion sickness therapy in over 40 years. Wow, that's pretty impressive. What is that one that they use today all the time? Dramamine or something? Isn't that what they give you when you go on a boat? And something like that. So anyway, there you go. Progressive G, Happy New Year's to you and everybody else, of course. And OTLK there, Sam. FDA approval PR could make the low float exciting right there. And I think you did mention that one, the Outlook Therapeutics right there. Look at that thing pulling back, and that could get popping back up there. Watch for that one. That could be a really good opportunity down there right now, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I might keep an eye on OTLK with you right there, Sam, today. And let's go through our SPY Mag 7 and see what the SPAGs are doing real quick. SPY right here. Let's see. It's down and not looking beautiful. Let's put it. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just pulled back, hitting the MACD. I don't know if it's going to really cross through, to be honest with you, but it is touching there. It is getting set up, and you could get pulled back. You could come down to a 20, and you could also come down to that 681 area, another $4 down on your SPY, and it wouldn't be too bad, to be honest with you. And then your Qs are also down this morning, and they're in between this 20 and 50 right here, and they are pulling back. So I could see them going a little bit red today here. They're jumping up this morning, but I could see them coming up and going straight down right there as it opens up. So that's what the market looks like for your indices. And then your IWM. IWN. How about that one? But your IWM right here is your Russell 2000, and another one that was been dipping down, and I don't know. It has a 50 down here. We'll see if it wants to stop, but we knew it was going to be pulling back this morning, and it certainly is right there. So there's your IWM, and that is what the indices look like. Let's see what our Apple and Mag 7 and SPAGs look like. Here's your Apple, and it is just kind of hanging out on that 50, right under the 50, as a matter of fact, and looks like it could get pushed down a little bit more. So like I said, the market could definitely go red with no problem here. Amazon kind of hanging on after the Christmas rush, and it should see a little pop, but it's just kind of hanging out there. Google sitting on that support line, and it's sitting there holding on for dear life. You could get a dip down to 297, so we could absolutely see a little dip and then rip action. So make sure that you're playing that accordingly, because it does look like it kind of wants to do it right here. We'll see as they open up. Meta was looking pretty good yesterday, and it's pulling back this morning. Microsoft wasn't looking bad, and it does have a little bit of pullback right there. And the video we were just looking at is up a hair right there. And the video actually looks like that's setting back up, to be honest with you. Look at that. That does not look bad. Just be careful if they do have anything crazy happening. What's it say today at 2:51 a.m.? So let's see. 2:45 a.m., 2:50. I don't see anything. ByteDance support 14 billion in the NVIDIA. NVIDIA in advanced talks to acquire Israel's A121 or AI21 labs for 2 to 3 billion, and asked TSMC to ramp H200 production as Chinese firms order over 2 million chips for 2026 at $27,000 each. pending Beijing approval right there. So that is very interesting. That's for sure. And NVIDIA does look really good right there. So I would say NVIDIA, keep that on your list, and it could get popping today. Tesla, let's see. That one's pulling back. It looked like it wanted to dip down some more, and it could pull back a little bit more right there. And let's look AMC. Like I said, you might want to keep this one on your radar because this one is getting set up right there. We do like AMC right now. I'm telling you, them options are crazy. I mean, that's crazy interest on them. And so, yeah, AMC, definitely keep an eye on that. GameStop getting down there. Maybe they want to kick the whole market off at the beginning of the year. Chewy and Unity, again, we'll take these off the list. Give me two good ones that we want to replace them with. We'll have a little, I'll make a post about it. You guys can let me know. And I think the rest of the lists are pretty good. Netflix just pulling back a little bit. PSKY is at Paramount pulling back. And like I said, I don't think that one's going to do so well at the moment. Warner Brothers pulling back a little bit. So a little pullback on New Year's Eve here. That's about it. And AVGO is our semiconductors, and they're down a little bit. They look like they're a little more flat than anything, but they are pulling back. MU's down a little bit right there. TSM, that one's up. What the heck was that? What just happened? I don't even know what just happened, guys. There it goes. There's TSM. I have no idea what was that. TSM, the thing got all excited for TSM and because it's looking pretty good right there. Again, I'd sold the options Friday. It pulled back. I may re-enter some going forward. TSM looking pretty good right there. I'll have to reevaluate that one today as the market opens. SMCI looks like it's going to get set up, and this is where you would like to get them. But if the market wants to pull back pretty good at the beginning of the year, you don't want to jump in too early, even though they're getting set up, because they could pull back. AMD, the same situation. So we're just keeping an eye on these guys. Obviously, keeping an eye on the market to see what it wants to do. Qualcomm right here, a little bit of pullback, and it's just below your 50 right there, but not looking too bad. But it does look like it could pull back. So they're kind of parachuting their way down, and it's a very slow downwards, like a very slightly going down, and but they are pulling back a little bit, and it is an easy slight pullback there. So nothing real crazy, no corrections or anything, but you are seeing some pullback. It's making room on the chart. Here's Snowflake. That's also down this morning right there. Snow coming down. And PayPal, but it has good support underneath. And PayPal not looking bad to get set back up. How about your Intel right here? Like I said, this one's been looking good setting up, and I think Intel is a good one right here, INTC. So definitely keep an eye on that one. And let me see, because Dell was getting looking pretty decent. I think Dell's trying to get set up right there. We'll keep an eye on that as the day goes on. And IBM was another one that wasn't looking too bad to get set up, and then it had taken that dip down yesterday. And now it's trying to curl up. We'll have to look at IBM to see exactly what it wants to do. But Intel and Dell definitely looking pretty decent. Palantir right there pulling back, and Sophie, if I type it in, I think that was pulling back this morning. If I remember correctly, yeah, it was pulling back a little bit right there. It looks like it wants to pull back a little bit more. And Mara and Riot, look at these guys just kind of hanging out, getting almost into that basement area again. So they're kind of trying to hold on and not really dip into the basement too hard. Here's your Riot dipping down under all of its support lines. We were saying TSM looking really good there, Luis Rodriguez. I think I was a little early for that one, huh? And like I said, I did sell the option. Well, it expired last Friday, so I didn't have a choice. And I was up over 100%, and now I think it's going to rip even higher here. So definitely keep an eye on that TSM. It is looking pretty good. And what the heck was I just looking at? I totally forget. Oh yeah, Riot and Clean Spark, I think. So yeah, Riot just hanging on. Clean Spark right here is down just a little bit and just kind of hanging out. And then MicroStrategy is just holding on for dear life. He's up a little bit today, but nothing really that crazy. Again, just been parachuting. And we'll see if crypto, and I do think now it's going to be thank you, Luis Rodriguez, the right call for TSM right there. But yeah, MicroStrategy, I do think you're going to see these guys, and that's why you're seeing Riot, Mara, these guys coming right down to the bottom right there, trying to get set back up. I do think that crypto and Bitcoin was suffering from huge tax loss selling, and I think it's going to rebound at the beginning of the year, maybe not on January 2nd, but I think as we go into the first week or so, Bitcoin could get cruising back up there and drag the rest of crypto up. Bitcoin's at 88,870 right now. and Ethereum's at 29.95, so it's $5 under 3,000, so that's not bad. And then Solana's at 126. It's up like 1.2% right there, so that's a pretty decent look. Stellar's down a little bit at 20 cents. It was not looking so stellar. Ripple's at 187. It's doing a 187 right there. Cardano's at 35 cents, and we'll go through them in a moment. But there's your Robinhood right there, and it does have good support. So I do think that they're coming down to them bottoms. I mean, we've seen a lot of tax loss selling, and I think it was affecting Bitcoin, affecting the market right here at the end. And now we're going to get ripping. It could even pull back a hair right at the beginning of the new year. Obviously, you're seeing it happen right as New Year's is happening, and maybe it plays out a little bit more on Friday. But I do think the market gets set up. So definitely be keeping an eye for these setups, because we'll be watching them. Here's your bull. I think it's getting down to that end, and it's going to try to get pulled back up there and ripping at the beginning of the year as well. And then your Virgin Galactic wasn't looking too bad. It looks a little flat right there this morning. I don't know if it's doing anything just yet, if that's today or yesterday. I think that was yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday's look. Bull definitely had a rough year right there, I must say. Progressive G, just like you're mentioning, it certainly did. Look at this year right here. I mean, bull, rough year for sure. Look at that thing. It was up big, and then it just kind of fell apart. It was flat down there, and it was just a rough one for bull. It tried to get ripping and came down. I do think this year will be a lot better for bull, and it will get cruising. So let's see what's going on with the rest of these guys right here. Boeing, space we looked at. Boeing was up just a hair, but kind of flat right there at the top. DJT is just kind of flat too. Saw that this morning. What was Nike doing? It was trying to run up, and there you go. We did think it looked pretty good last night, and it did look good, obviously. McDonald's trying to curl back up, probably will stay in this channel. Disney's been looking good and just kind of flat this morning. Oxy has been running up there and up just a hair this morning, but looking really good right there for Oxy and ExxonMobil and your oil and gas ones. And like I said, keep an eye on this bad boy after the reverse split. It could get really cruising. And your DXYZ right here is just kind of hanging out on the 20 down a little bit. So there you go right there. And let's see what else is going on. Am I going to be live today at all in the Discord? You're working from home, so you're jumping on, Luis Rodriguez. Yeah, I'll check out and see if Ben hops on this morning. He should probably hop on, I would imagine, and I will definitely hop on. Not so sure I'll do an afternoon show today as we get closer to New Year's Eve. Maybe I'll hop on at 3 o'clock. I'm not sure. I know Ben won't hop on. He doesn't hop on at the on Friday afternoons right now. I believe it's a religious thing, to be honest with you, and just for a couple months, I think that takes place, if I remember correctly. So, but yeah, maybe I'll hop on this afternoon. But yeah, I'll hop on with Ben in the Discord this morning and see what the market's going to do on our very last day of 2025. And look at that, NVIDIA TSM, my 2 calls right there, guys, still going up. So I would say that's a pretty good one right there. And let's see if anything else is going on. We were talking about Bitcoin. Here you go, and crypto. It's at 88,800 and something, and looks a little bit better. Again, I'm telling you guys, it's been holding itself up. It got into this bullish channel, and then when it came down, it looked a little weird to me. Now I get it, but it's setting right up, and I think we're going to get ripping right here at the beginning of the year. Bitcoin is suffering from tax loss selling, guys. That's exactly what is going on right here. After it ran up so much this year, and you were up there like this, that, look at the majority of the year was up from May until about the middle of November right there. You were just straight up in the air for the most part, and it's still kind of up. I mean, don't get me wrong. So yeah, I would say, and it did start getting moving into the beginning of the year when Trump had won. Remember, it started cruising right there. There's when Trump wins the election, and boom, it got ripping. Then it pulled back in the April, and then bam, it just never stopped. Pulled back there October, middle of October towards November right there. And yeah, I think you're seeing some tax loss selling that's hitting the crypto world, and I think you're going to see it get cruising there. That's for sure. So That's what that looks like to me at the moment. Let's take a look at nuclear right here. This was looking pretty good yesterday, just kind of hanging out. Red wire was looking pretty good too, and that's jumped up. And I do have the $8 call, so that's nice right there. Snap just hanging out, but not looking too bad right there. And DLO is just flat this morning. We'll have to look at that bad boy. Intel we were talking about looking decent, and of course, space right here is looking pretty decent. I would say SPCE looking nice right there. What about our healthcare MOH up a little bit more? We were talking about that, and UNH right there. That's actually pulled back a little bit this morning, but setting up in a really good spot. Look at this thing on this trend line and curling up nicely. I would say UNH looking pretty good right there, looking tasty, I must say. For UNH, it's a healthcare one. ONDS, that was just up a penny, and ASTS is up a little bit and trying to cruise along. And let's see, what's this devs doing this morning? That was looking pretty good yesterday. It's just sitting right there. And Symbotic is trying to get set up down here. AMC we were talking about. And that LW is just hanging out from Michael Anthony. And what about our Campbell's right here? This one's trying to get set up as well. As you can see, it's up a little bit right there. And IMRX Ross is not looking bad. It's just kind of hanging out there flat. We'll see how it opens up this morning. IVP, penny stock right there, is up a little bit more. So there you go with them guys, and that is what our market looks like on New Year's Eve. And there you go. That's the heat map. It's kind of flat. Nothing really happening. Oracle, Palantir, Apple, AMD all down right now. AVGO is down. Google's down. But NVIDIA is the bright spot right there, holding up the market as it's done so many times before. And NVIDIA looking pretty decent. It's just hanging out. It's curling up. TSM looking good as well. So there you go with them two. And Bull had a rough year. That is for sure. We were just talking about it. And wow, I mean, look at that thing. Just not doing what it needed to do. Had a lot of tax loss selling, I'm assuming right now, and should get cranking back up just like Bitcoin in the new year. And there you go, everybody. We went through our news right there. Let's see what's kind of active and going on. DRCT is cruising up there. I saw that this morning in that IVP and NCL. We talked about ANGH right there. That one's flying up. And Ride, that's taking a ride. Looks like it's riding down. I don't even know what that thing. I have to look at it. I can't even tell what the heck it's doing. Looked like it jumped up and pulled back. It looks like it certainly did do that. So yeah, there's that ride right there. It looks like it was spiked up pretty big. It opened at 41, got up to 50, and now you're sitting at 31. So that's what's going on with RYDE. And there's that iSpecimen Profusa right here down a little bit. Silver pulling back pig. I did say that yesterday. Remember, I did say that. And Oris right here, that's cruising up. OTLK, we'll watch that one, Sam. That could certainly have a nice bounce back today. And that is what is going on in your world of the most active ones anyway. Nothing happening really on the last day of 2025. So thank you, everybody, for always tuning in every morning, hanging out, being a part of the show. And I greatly appreciate it. You guys know that. And in 2026, we're really going to crank it up to a couple new levels. So do me a favor, follow the Instagram account. And I know you guys are already following X and YouTube and all that good stuff. So like the show, but definitely follow the Instagram account. I appreciate a bunch of you is already going over and doing it. I just want to stream the show over on Instagram. So we're going to build that up. And we have a couple other things in the works, and I'll be posting it on Spotify as well. Got that all figured out. I'll tell you what, it was kind of confusing at first, but I contacted the customer service, and it had to have definitely been somebody in the U.S. I mean, it was a guy named Oscar. I think I forget what the hell the dude's name is, to be honest with you. But I mean, he just it wasn't AI, because they had the bot hit you up first, and then said they'd have somebody contact you. And within like 2 minutes, this guy came on. And he kind of emailed back and forth like he was in America. Let's put it that way. You can kind of tell when they're not in America. He definitely was writing like he was, and it was pretty instantaneous. And he was just on point with everything. And I was just telling him what was going on and why I couldn't get to the things. And I didn't understand. It was confusing. And there's like 3 different pages they have. They have like a creator's page, your personal page, and then the page that you can go on to like make everything upload to like playlist and stuff. And for whatever reason, whenever I log in, it would just go to the personal page, and I didn't even know where the other page was. I did it. I did it the other day. I guess I got lucky or something because I added two like shows, and I was just trying to figure out how it worked, and then all of a sudden I couldn't figure it out anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna add the shows to Spotify as well. Now I figured it out. It's pretty easy, and I can do that each day. So we'll have it on Spotify after the shows are live, obviously on X, Instagram. I don't even know how to do it live on Spotify. I think you just upload it to there. And so yeah, and then I want to do it on like Instagram and TikTok. I think that would be pretty good. The Facebook doesn't. I could try to build that up, but I think the other platforms are way better, especially for this type of thing with the stocks and the market and the charts and everything we go through. So there you go, everybody. That's our plan going into 2026. And obviously, we're going to destroy the market. We're going to crush it. We did this year. We had a great year. I know so many people had great years. So many people in the Discord had amazing years, and it's going to get even better. So don't forget, today's the last day. If you're interested in the Discord, you can feel free to DM me if you have any questions. But the promo code is New Year, so be sure to take advantage of that because 20% off is really nice right there, and it will definitely pay for itself. I think everybody does well in the Discord, and yeah, we're on there nonstop, live trading, giving you all kinds of information, night notes, morning notes, everything else. 4 a.m. Warriors. It's a very active and very active Discord. We spend a lot of time in there, and we do it because we appreciate all the subscribers, obviously, and we want everybody to do well. And I think it's a very big community in there, and I believe everybody does pretty well. I would say Progressive G, I know you're in there doing really well. Raw, so many other people. I know a lot of you guys come over and check out the show, so I greatly appreciate that as well. And let's congratulate Valerie Welch. She won the Trend Spider the giveaway right there. So she's getting for the new year, she's actually getting a free subscription of TrendSpider. I think it was a 6-month subscription, but I'll tell you what, that's awesome way to start out your 2026. So congratulations, Valerie Welch, and thank you for always following along and checking out the shows and tuning in and all that good stuff. And I just put the people's names in a hat right there. I literally wrote them all down on a piece of paper and just kind of drew one. I should have did it while I was on there. I used one of them wheels. Next time we have the thing, I'll make sure way more people get it and enter the drawings, and we'll do that wheel thing. We'll spin the wheel live, and you can see who wins. But yeah, I just threw the people's names in a quick hat and then just looked over and went, picked it out, and I was like, well, Valerie won. I always see her name. That's awesome. Good for her. And then I let them know. So yeah, Valerie, congratulations. You are getting a free subscription for TrendSpider. And anyone who's interested in TrendSpider, they're having a good New Year's sale, so you can click on my affiliate link and get all taken care of it for that. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. So there you go. This is what the market looks like right now, just kind of keeping it on the heat map. Microsoft, Apple, flat. NVIDIA looking good. AVGO, Oracle, Palantir, AMD, MU also down right there. Let's see what it's down. I know we already went through it, but just barely down, was bouncing off that top area right there. So that is what the market looks like. I knew there was two that we wanted to look at. SOC, you're right, laptop travel, that is looking a lot better. And that Serve Robotics right here wasn't looking too bad to get set up. I couldn't think of the name of it yesterday. Rich Tech Robotics isn't looking too bad to get set up. So we'll watch that one into the new year as well. And I would say that is everything we have right there. Progressive G, Luis Rodriguez, and Happy New Year to Laptop Travel. It's New Year's Eve, but I believe in a couple hours it'll be the new year over there. So I'm sure he's probably doing something celebrating. So Laptop Travel, have a Happy New Year, because he's like a day ahead of us, and it's about to be New Year. The new year over there to be at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And so yeah, that's what time it'll be New Year's for Laptop Travel. It's so crazy that it's like an entire day ahead of us. It's so weird how that works, but that's the way the world works. So yeah, Laptop Travel, you have a Happy New Year. Thanks for all your contributions and everything as well. And of course, Luis Rodriguez, Sam, you enjoy your day. Robin, driving to work, have a great day. Everybody, Doge Mama 9, Asian Joe Lee, and everybody else like Deep Soul Diving. So many people. I was going to make a list this weekend of all the people I can always remember that tune in on the daily, just so I could always give you guys shout outs, because I greatly appreciate everybody that hangs out. You guys know that. And of course, everybody that chimes in, like Michael Anthony at night. He's the best. Michael Anthony, we have a great time. That one thing he posted last night, that was so great when Laptop Travel deciphered that. That was pretty hilarious. Sometimes he definitely does not type well. I thought he was drinking last night or something. I don't know. Everything he was writing was way off, but good old Michael Anthony's a great dude, and he has some great picks. I'll tell you what, he called Bitcoin going down perfectly. That was pretty wild right there. So we have a good time at night. So if you've only watched the pre-market shows in the morning, we do a night show every night at 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday nights, and that's a lot of fun. We have a good time on that show. A lot of I try to make it as entertaining as possible as we go through a huge stock chart list and look and see what's going to be popping. But we generally pick out the poppers and the runners for the next day, so it's definitely worth it. And you just sit there and take your notes and listen to what I say, because it's pretty accurate, I must tell you. We talked about MOH and these guys the last 2 days, and look at them, the healthcare sector right there. They've been running up pretty nice. UNH, we were talking about that. That's going to be popping, though. I'm telling you, I'm going to be looking at these options right here. Let's actually look at the options. Let's see what they're let's see what's going on with their interest. Nothing right there. Going to let's go a little further out here. Not too big right there for UNA. I bet if we went like a month out or something, they'd start see. I think UNH people are buying these a lot further out. There you go. There's the open interest getting a little bit bigger. So yeah, I think there's in April you're starting to see some. So yeah, I think UNH is going to be one of them ones that gets cruising this year after that big beat down right there, and it looks pretty bullish as of now anyway. I don't know if it runs the entire year, but it will definitely should start off pretty well right there. Healthcare looking pretty decent, so we'll try to pick out the sectors that are going to run like I was talking about last night. You definitely want to get into the trend and run on up, because that's the way the market's been running, and running pretty well that way. So there you go, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and I should be on in the Discord at 9 a.m. or 9:15 area with Ben. I let him do his morning show first, and I hop on and we do our top picks and everything like that for the Discord members, and then we do some live trading up until about 10:30 each morning. So you can be a part of that in the Discord. Like I said, 20% off if you're interested, and the promo code is New Year. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM on X. And I would say that's wrapping up our New Year's Eve. And next time we have a morning show, it's going to be 2026, guys. How crazy is that? This year flew by, and I'm sure 2026 will fly by, but I'll tell you what, we're all going to take advantage of 2026, and at the end of the year, we're going to be sitting there saying it was one of the best years we had ever seen. No matter what the market wants to do, I think we all have a really good idea of how to play the market. We understand it on the daily on this show, that's for sure, and I think the opportunities will be there, plenty of them. It'll be volatile with Trump in the office. So, and you also have the midterms coming up in November. So it's going to be a wild year again. The Fed chair gets changed around. All kinds of stuff is going to happen. So another wild year coming up, that's for sure. So it's going to be volatile. In these volatile times, you can definitely make some money. We just got to play the opportunities the right way, whether they're going up in the calls or going down with the puts. And we'll make sure that we take advantage of it all and seek out every opportunity on the daily, as we always do, but even get better at it, Progressive G. And that we're always striving to make our show better, but not only that, trading better and everything better. So we're going to get great in 2026. It should be an amazing year. So that's what it looks like. And I would say that's a good year for 2025 too. I can't complain. I'd say everybody had a pretty decent year, and we had a lot of fun doing the show, and I greatly appreciate all you guys. So there you go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and Progressive G and Luis Rodriguez, and of course Laptop Travel, and all you guys, Asian Jolie and Sam and Robin and all of you, thank you again for tuning in every day. Hang hanging out. It makes me get up every day and come on and want to do the show, and it's always a fun time. So thank you everybody for contributing. And if you don't contribute and you just listen to the show or watch the replays or whatever, I can't thank you enough. And yeah, we're going to continue to do them through 2026, put it on more platforms so we'll get a bigger audience and more fun. We'll find more people like Michael Anthony that are entertaining, and we'll have a lot of fun going into the 2026 and going forward. So, but not only entertaining and having fun, we make sure we crush the market every single time, every day. And when we don't crush the market, we laugh about it. That's for sure, because you're never going to be 100% perfect. We all know that, but we do a pretty damn good job being accurate on here and in the Discord. So thank you again. I can't thank you guys enough. Enjoy your day. That's for sure. Be sure to trade smart and lock in those profits as it's New Year's Eve. And I don't know how crazy the market's going to be. It could be a slow one. As you can see, Nvidia's up. Tesla looks like it's up a little bit, and TSM looking pretty decent. So that is what the market looks like. We'll keep you updated in the Discord. Goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everybody. And a happy new year, and stay safe. So I will see you guys in 2026.